Music today sucks. And I'm about to tell you why, using some examples. Get ready, because we're about to roast your favorite artists. Okay? First one up, Justin Bieber. Supposed to be one. It went like that. Anyways, one, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. I thought he was going to be a one-hit wonder, let's be honest, okay? His song Baby was nothing special. It was one of those stupid pop tracks where they put some dance music in the background and they auto-tuned some kid's voice to sound okay. Which, even then, they kind of failed. So, I really thought nothing of him. And over time, I really didn't think much of him either. I didn't really start to care until I saw what his fans did. His fans were what destroyed his image for me at first. Because his fans are just so desperate. They wouldn't have given a fuck about him if he wasn't rich. And not many fans want to admit that. Now, I think it is a vital difference between fans that are of like rock music or sometimes country music compared to people who like that current day pop and rap and all. People who are into country and rock, sorry guys, respect the artist. I mean, sure, there's those whores that want to get in their pants because they're rich, duh, or they're whores, you know, what they want to do. But for the most part, the music in there is respected. We respect our artists, and we constantly wait for more music from them. You don't hear crazy rock people, you know, going out and cutting themselves for, you know, cut for Bieber and all this crap. That doesn't happen. I think the closest would be the clown, you know, Insane Clown Posse, because their music is considered a form of rock. And even then, I mean, how many are left out there? I mean, come on. And I'm not saying, you know, the music genre, you know, doesn't have its crazy fans, because it still does, but nothing to the extent that rap and pop have. A good example, and this is why I started hating Justin Bieber so much, was because he put up with his fans doing this crazy stuff like cut for Bieber and just being outright disrespectful. Have you ever heard of an account of what they do with those concerts to get in? There was an account I read of this girl. She's paralyzed, and the father was writing about this, how he went to a rock concert, I forget the artist, and they were very respectful. They actually let her in through a, you know, handicap-only way and put her in the front row, and, you know, all the stuff. With the Justin Bieber one she went to, fans were climbing on her wheelchair to get over her, to get in the door. They're that desperate to see this douchebag, and that just, in my mind, tainted the image of him, because he put up with this too, and with the Cut for Bieber thing, he completely put up for it. But over time, he just started getting worse. He pretty much got what I call, you know, pop, or just this current day course. I really don't have a name for it. I don't know why I said I did. I don't. So feel free to make up your own. But he literally developed his ego and thought he was all that, and that's when he started smoking, and I'm sure he's drinking. I don't know. I really don't follow this kid that much. And he started doing all this stuff like peeing into a bucket, spitting on his fans, all this crap. And that's just disrespectful. So I just see no respect between the two, the fans, for just anything, and respect for his fans. And I just feel like he's a complete douche, and he should not still be in the music industry, but he is. So, oh well. I don't really pay attention to him, and I feel like he has just overstayed. He should be done. That's all I'm going to say. The second one would be One Direction. I feel that I really shouldn't be saying much about them, because they are a boy band, and boy bands have always existed in pop, such as Backstreet Boys or what was it? NSYNC? Yeah, NSYNC. I was like, what am I thinking of? You can tell I do not follow pop scenes. But I feel like they don't really deserve, you know, that much mention, because this is always going to exist. It's just how it is. But I will say something, because their music does suck, and I was outraged to see them do a, I think it was, I'm not sure if this was for a cover, and I hope it wasn't, but I know it was a picture, and they recreated the Abbey Road picture of the Beatles. Yeah. Now, as you know, Beatles are a boy band. It's the truth. Accept it. But they at least had talent, and they at least knew how to play instruments. You are not a band if you don't know how to play instruments. So, I can't really say much about One Direction. They fucking suck, and they're all auto-tuned. So, it's pretty much the same with all stars nowadays. Okay, third one is this really I think I'm putting these into categories. I don't mean to, but I am. So the third one would be like really narcissistic people. Lady Gaga is a great example. And actually I'm going to put Taylor Swift in this one too. Because both their music is, with Lady Gaga she thinks she's all that, and she demands attention by doing these crazy stunts like putting on these original outfits and acting all artsy when she's not. She's just an attention whore. That's literally what she is. I'm not even going to call her weird, because that'd be too much of a compliment to her. She is just an attention whore. She's narcissistic. And I feel sorry for her fans, because they really fall for what she's putting out there. Because they see her as a symbol of individualism and art and whatever else she's claiming to stand for. And they're just falling for it. It's really sad. I put Taylor Swift into this category because her songs are always about, oh, I can't get with this boy, I can't get with that boy. That's all her songs are about. She has the mind of a 15-year-old. And that to me stands, maybe not as narcissism, but very just self-centered. There are so many things she could be singing about, and there are so many other things she could be standing behind, and this is what she does. I just feel like another one who's kind of overstayed their visit, or, however you want to phrase it. She needs to just get out. And I point this out to a lot of people. People are like, oh, but she has a great voice. It's auto-tuned. Believe me, I've heard her sing live. She can't sing. She can play guitar. A little. But that's about it. The fourth one, I had the thumbs. The fourth one would be, I think I'm going to go for Demi Lovato. And people are really going to hate me for this one. But Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez, they all kind of fall into this weird category where you can tell they have, or they at least sound like they have some talent. And Ariana Grande, I feel, would fall into this one too. They kind of sound like they have talent, and they keep up a somewhat good image. And they're another artist I really can't complain about, but it's obvious that they still auto-tune. And in real life, they're not good people. It's just, I don't know. They're kind of, in this weird stage that I feel, they're pre-Miley. And they always do this to show that they're women. Because they think that acting like a whore will make them women. And it doesn't. So they're kind of in that pre-stage. And you can tell by the music they're putting out. Selena Gomez's music has slowly got more inappropriate. You just see it coming. And I don't like them for that reason. Because they're no different from previous people like Miley Cyrus was, or Amanda Bynes. Even though she wasn't a singer, she was a great actress. And they just kind of turned into something else. And I don't like it. And it's a bad example, because they earn the fans this way and then turn into that. And then what? Okay? Oh, and by the way, Demi Lovato's little cutting incident here that we had a few years ago, I'm sorry, and it's great that she brings attention to that, but I think she brought attention to that issue in the wrong way. I know she wants to seem like a symbol of, oh, I overcame this and I'm a survivor. You're not a survivor. You just cut yourself. I'm sorry. It's definitely something that needs to be treated with therapy, and sometimes it really is justified why people are doing this. It's because of depression, and I'm not saying that that's, not justified, but cutting is definitely, no, I'm not even getting into that. You know what? I'm not. So, I just feel like they're really fake. That's what I feel. The fifth category would be Miley Cyrus and all actresses that use their body as a way of getting more attention and other things. If you haven't noticed, Miley Cyrus a good example of this one, has really just turned into a whore. She's not who she used to be. And people are like, oh, I support her. She's becoming a woman. If that's what you define woman as, then you have another thing coming. Okay? A woman, in my mind, is somebody who gets, has a successful career. She's mature enough to handle her own problems and others if she needs to. I feel like a person really doesn't become a woman until they've had a kid. That's what I really feel. And, I mean, sure, if you're like, 30s or 40s, you haven't had a kid, then there's obviously maturity level things. And, your maturity level will give away how much of a woman you are. That my personal definition is just, you're not a woman until you've had a kid. That's just how I feel. But again, that could be, I could be totally wrong, because if you haven't had a kid, I'm not saying that you should have a kid so you can be a woman. It's not true. I feel like it's a maturity thing, and it's a transition that you make through life, having a baby being one of them, one of these transitions. She, on the other hand, like, all of Hollywood is very subjective of women, I feel, and I'm going to say this in a later video about when I'm going to talk about patriarchy, which I'm thinking of making a video between patriarchy and matriarchy, and see which one you guys think is really what our society is today, so that should be fun. But anyways, music videos are very subjective. You always get the girls, like, dancing half-nude things, like, oh yeah, this is a bad shirt because you can see my bra, so, it's just, so they think that by doing that, they're going to get more attention, and people are going to see them as a woman, but it's not true. And that's why I hate these people, because they're the worst role models for kids. I just hate those kind of people. So, that's really what I hate about music, and why music sucks, because not only does it not produce any good role models anymore, it's all fake and auto-tuned. It's the same beat used over and over and over again. Not good. If you want, and I'm not saying go to rock or country, because that'll be a good role model. What you need to do, I think, is parents need to teach their kids proper morals, because if they're getting them from role models and music today, then God help us, really, because this next generation is going to be hell. That is all I have to say, so goodbye.